What is going on, everybody? I hope you all are having an amazing day. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you're having a great day as well. In today's training, what we're going to be going over is the natural Ozempic. So, what I mean by this is I want to talk about the natural way on how we can make these changes happen in our body, losing weight and everything, just like Ozempic does, and just like these other pills, shakes, and all those other like gimmicks when it comes to weight loss. So, first of all, before we dive into it, I just want to go over how it all works in the first place. So how does Ozempic work? How does weight loss work in general? And then we're going to break down the natural ways behind it. So first of all, when it comes to losing weight, okay, if we want to lose weight, what we need to do is a good way to think about your weight is to think about your weight being stored energy. Okay, so basically, it's just when people gain weight, it's from a surplus of calories that they're eating, so a surplus of energy that they're eating, and their body isn't burning that energy off. So what it does is it takes that excess energy and it stores it. So that's why we have stored fat. So when it comes to companies and their like weight loss pills, weight loss shakes, and everything, the only way to really lose weight, guys, is that if we are in a deficit. Okay, so that's the opposite of a surplus. So that's when we're eating less calories, so that way we can burn off that excess fat. So if we eat less calories than what our body needs to burn, okay, on a daily basis to function. If we eat less, then there's a gap there. And that gap is where we're going to go into our stored fat and use that up for energy so that way we can drop that weight down. Okay? So when it comes to so that's basically how weight loss works, right? So now we have to ask ourselves like, okay, well, how do these magical pills and these, all these things work? They do that just in a different kind of way. So they allow that to happen still, that deficit, okay, but it's in an injection and a pill. And the reason why is because, for example, Ozempic, the main function behind Ozempic is that what it does is that it causes you to keep full, okay, and less hungry. Okay, and when you're more full and less hungry, what's going to happen? You eat less food. So now you have less calories coming in. So therefore, you're more likely to be in that deficit. Okay, so it's not like a magical pill or anything that's going to magically shred away the fat. It's just another tool to get you to eat less calories so you can lose weight faster. Okay, so the same thing when it comes to diet pills. Okay, a lot of time diet pills, if you really look at them like fat burners, it's just caffeine. And the reason why caffeine works so well is because it keeps you full longer. Okay, caffeine will keep you full, so therefore you're less likely to eat more food, so therefore you're more likely to be in a deficit and drop the weight. Okay, so that's really how it works. Like with all these different approaches out there, and like you take the shakes, right? If you start the shake diet, or you take like when companies send you those meals and stuff. I think the protocol diet is one of them. They'll send you their meals, and it's very very dense foods that's going to keep you very full, but it's going to make it so it's very low calories, right? Okay, eat this many snacks a day, drink this many shakes a day. Then you're only drinking or you're only bringing in about 1,200 calories a day, so therefore you're more likely to lose weight, right? So that's basically how it works when it comes to all these different approaches out there. The biggest problem though is that 99% of the time it's not sustainable, right? It's like nobody wants to spend that much money on an injection for the rest of their lives. It's just nobody wants to do that. So what happens is that when we do these approaches, like the diets, the shakes, the pills, everything in between, yes, we'll get quick results, and that's awesome. It feels really good, right? But the biggest problem is that when we come off of it, and then we revert back to our old habits because we didn't learn how to maintain our weight. We didn't learn how to lose it in a sustainable way and change our eating patterns. When we go back to our old habits and our old ways before the pills and the diets and the shakes and stuff like that, also is the weight's going to come back too. Okay, because what happens is that we're creatures of habit. Okay, and our habits determine our actions, and our actions will determine what we look like, our health, our bodies, the whole 9 yards, right? If we don't move, then odds are, we're not going to look like an athlete. So that's basically what happens. That's what I really want to stress on today's training is that, yes, you can take whatever you want. Like, I'm not going to tell you to do something or not do something, anything, but we just got to know that if we don't change our habits that cause the weight to come onto us in the first place, if we don't change our ways, then these short-term approaches, they're never going to be a long-term solution. And it's going to cause you to have so much more doubt in yourself and so much more beliefs of like, my body's broken, there's something wrong with me. But no, it's not that at all. It's the vehicle that you're taking to losing the weight. Okay? So that's why I want to talk about the natural Ozempic today, okay? Natural ways that you can keep full, okay, and eat less calories so that way you can lose weight in a more sustainable way. Because if you do it this way, what's going to happen is that you're going to build the habits around it. You're going to build the habits around higher protein intake every meal, little things like that, which is going to allow you to lose the weight but keep it off long term. Okay, and that's exactly what we do at Coach Hayward. That's what we help our clients with, is helping them make it a permanent transformation, a lifestyle. Okay, not just another chicken and broccoli diet. So let's talk about it. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things we're going to cover here today on how you can use the natural Ozempic to lose weight. Okay, so the first one, like I mentioned, is the high protein. Why is high protein so important? It's so important because number one, when you eat protein, if you look at like, your average serving of protein versus carbs, typically protein has a lot less calories when you're consuming. Okay, so that's number one, is that typically it's going to have a lot less calories when you're eating more protein. Number two is that it's going to keep you full longer as well. Okay, if you ever look at those graphs, I remember like in high school they always showed the graphs of like you eat this steak and it's going to take you like 6 hours or so to digest in your stomach. So therefore you're going to be keeping full longer. Okay, so that's why having protein is so important in your diet. So what I do personally, guys, is every morning I have a very high protein breakfast. I'm the type of person who's kind of robotic, so I can eat the same things. So I basically have a bunch of eggs in the morning with some egg whites, cheddar cheese. I like banana peppers, just a side note. It's really good to add into your food, just for taste. But I have that, so lots and lots of protein. And then I just have a piece of toast, like whole wheat piece of toast as well, with either peanut butter or butter. So that, though, is going to allow me to keep full. I'm going to eat that big meal, and that's going to keep me full. And all that protein and everything is going to keep me full, give me very clean energy for the day. Okay? Because if we eat like bad carbs, like, refined carbs and stuff, it's going to, taste really good, but it's going to put us in a food coma. Our energy levels are going to crash because what's going to happen is that it absorbs really quickly. So you get that really quick spike, but then after it's the big crash after. Okay? High protein, good, clean food is going to help keep that energy stable. Okay? So high protein. Number one, that should be the number one habit I want you to focus on when it comes to your eating if you're working on losing weight in a sustainable way, is getting protein in every single meal. Just try your best, keep it mindful, and I promise you, if you just do that, that's going to help tremendously. If you want to take a step farther in your journey and level it up, aim for about we'll say 30% goal in your macros. So if you're counting your calories, guys, 30% protein intake per day would be a good goal to work towards. Okay, so awesome. Now let's move on to the next one, which is just overall healthier food. So I kind of already talked about this in the one previously. So what you'll find is, like, you guys ever go to like McDonald's, and trust me, I just want another side note is, like, you don't need to, eat 100% healthy all the time. Like, you don't need to do the crazy drastic approach when it comes to your diet. It's just about, 80% of the time, 70% of the time making those right choices. But here's the secret, is that when you do that and you finally do make these changes, inside you're going to switch up, and inside your gut's going to switch up as well, and you're actually not even going to start craving like those old foods anymore. You're not going to really crave the bad foods anymore. So that's why I say, like, you don't have to go 0 to 100 overnight, because if you just stay consistent with it, and just by being more mindful and making better choices when it comes to eating healthier, naturally your body's going to do the work for you, and it's going to want to reject all the crap food. Okay, so I promise you that will happen. So anyways, what I was saying there is, like, you ever find, like, when you go to McDonald's, right, and you have like a chicken burger, it's like I could probably eat 7 chicken burgers in a setting for a joke. It's so easy. It's because the food has no nutrients in it. It's not dense. It's got a ton of calories because it's filled and pumped with a ton of crap. Okay, it's got a bunch of crap in it, and you eat it and it tastes so good, of course, right? It's supposed to. They're trying to make it kind of addicting, so you want more and more and more. And the thing is, though, is that it actually doesn't cause you a trigger to be full, so then you're more likely to eat more. But what I want to talk about here is why it's so important to eat healthier food, is because it's going to be more dense. It's going to be more nutrient packed, and that's going to cause you to keep full longer as well. Okay, and odds are when you do go for a healthier choice, it's going to be a lot less calories as well, because it doesn't have all the additives into it and all the crap. So that's going to help get less calories in, just like Ozempic, but you're saving yourself tons of money every month and also diarrhea. So let's move on to the next one here, is Let's see. So, filling meals. So, an extra thing that helps you keep full is high fiber in your diet. High fiber and jam-packed nutrient-dense foods, which is just try to look for whole foods. Okay, that's a plain simple tip. But high fiber, with your fruits, things like that. Getting that high fiber in, again, that's going to help keep you full longer. So therefore, you're less likely to eat more food. Okay, so the next one, I'm going to run through these real quick and then we'll break it down. So the next one is drinking more water. Okay, this is a game changer. I know it's like the simplest tip in the world, right? And you guys will see on my trainings, I talk about very similar things all the time because these are the things that actually work. There's no magic pill. We just got to get the little nitty gritty details in, and then that will cause the drastic changes to happen. Okay, my motto is we don't need to make drastic changes to see drastic results. Okay, we just got to switch up the few little things that we don't really pay attention to. So, drinking more water. One of the most important things about drinking more water is, yes, it's going to keep you more full, but one of the biggest things is that it's going to allow you to not get dehydrated. What happens when we get dehydrated is that automatically we will turn to food because food also has nutrients in it, right? It has water and stuff inside the food. So naturally, we'll get hungry, okay, and we think we're hungry, but actually we're dehydrated. We just need to drink some more water. Okay, so that's why drinking more water in general is going to help tremendously. For you ladies, you want to aim for about 90 ounces a day. That would be a good goal to work towards. Okay, that's like the average standard. So the last thing here that I want to talk about, okay, the last on the list of today is structured meals. Why is structured meals important? Well, first of all, what is structured meals? What do I mean by that? Structured meals, when I say that, it's like having proper meals set up in place on when you're going to eat, okay? This is going to allow for your body's circadian rhythm to work much, much better when it comes to eating your food, digesting it, and working along with it. It's going to allow you, though, to make sure that you don't go a long period of time without eating. Your blood sugar goes all over the place. You end up binge eating later on. Or a big one I hear from a lot of you ladies is like, if you don't eat at work, you skip your meal or anything, or you got to take your kids somewhere to an appointment, you miss that meal. The second you get home, you're giving into like their snacks, right? You're giving into those quick carbs, the sugar, because it's so good, and you're craving it so bad, and boom, there you go, right? So this is going to allow you to get away from the snacking. It's going to allow you to get some proper structure in place in your routine, get you full longer as well, because when we go too long without eating, again, we're going to get really hungry, and we're going to eat excess calories later on to make up for it. So by having structured meals in place, knowing like, okay, I eat breakfast at 8 a.m., I eat my lunch at 12 p.m., I have a snack at 3 p.m., and I have supper at 7 p.m. Okay, something like that where you have it structured in place, that's going to help you tremendously with cutting out more calories and staying on track, and also building out that routine, which is part of your lifestyle, right? Where it's something that you can stick with. It's like, okay, I can stick with this routine. I can sustain this routine with my eating because it makes sense with my lifestyle rather than I have to take an injection all the time to lose weight. Okay, what one do you guys want, right? So structured meals, knowing when to eat, getting that organized is going to help tremendously, okay? And of course, along that goes with the meal prepping, the whole 9 yards. So that is the natural Ozempic. Now, again, why is that so important? It's because when we gain weight, it's because we're having a surplus of calories, right? So we got to look at ways on how we can cut out those calories. And the best way to do that, well, easiest way to do that is keeping full, making sure we can keep ourselves full and away from those excess calories. So having that good, proper, structured routine. I'm sure you guys can all agree too. This is a lot more sustainable, right, than taking a pill or a shake every single day, starving yourself, not being able to enjoy your social life. Like, that's not fun. That's not sustainable. Why would you ever want to do that, right? So it's much better to just make the better choices, okay, to switch the little things up so that way you can lose the weight but also keep it off as well, okay? And that means high protein in your meals, healthier food options in general, just making better, mindful, healthier choices, filling meals, drinking more water, and having that structure in place as well, okay? It's going to help you tremendously. So that is basically the training for today. Now, let me see. I'm just checking my notes to see if there's anything else. Yeah, that's basically the training, though, for today. So a little quicker. We kind of jump right into it. But it's important because I feel like a lot of people, when it comes to the weight loss and stuff, like it is such an emotional battle, right? And I've been there before, so I get it. Like you want to see the results so bad. So you're looking at all these different ways, but the biggest thing that's happening is that we're self-sabotaging ourselves by doing that because it takes a little bit of time to create habits. But here's the thing is that if you just take that extra month to work on making the smarter choices rather than going towards the shakes or the diets or anything crazy like that. And you just take that extra month to just work on those little habits and making the better choices and learning how to put it all together. That's going to save you for the rest of your life. That's going to save you tremendous amount of money when it comes to buying other diets and shakes and all these other stuff. Okay? So the natural way is really the way if you want to make a permanent transformation happen. Okay, and it's exactly what we teach our clients. So if you want to learn more about that, shoot me a message, CH, and get some details to see if that would be the right fit for you. Other than that, if you have any more questions, comment down below. If you guys liked this video today and you felt like you got some value out of this, put a smiley face as well in there. I want to see who's paying attention. And other than that, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday today. And if you're watching us on YouTube too, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you on the next training.